Finished, all done and dusted. Zafira gone, and I'm on home. I've now driven the Land Rover Discovery Sport about 1100 miles in eco mode. So let's see what the MPG is like against Land Rover's 53 MPG sales bit. What's the real world driving we're going to get from a Land Rover Discovery Sport? Let's find out. So I've driven it approximately 50% in city and 50% on motorway. That's on speeds of 50 to a maximum of 70 miles per hour. Cough cough. Splutter splutter, say no more. So maximum of 70, nudge nudge, and between 50 and 70 actually, because you know they have road works on. So let's see what MPG is at 1100 miles of eco mode. You got an eco data. Hope you can see this. It's a bit sunny. Okay, we want to go to advanced trip, historical data, and trip B, and we get 1095 miles, or nearly virtually 1100 miles. We get an MPG of 30.5, which is a long way from Land Rover sales bitch of 53.3. Still, it's an improvement on the previous tests, because I've driven a lot more on motorway since. I've driven at least 50% on motorway, and that would be a speed of between 50 and mostly around 70. Mostly 70, but when they got road works you're down to a maximum of 50. But it'll be mostly 70 on motorway. Nudge nudge, wink wink, you know what I mean. So 30.5, that's what you can expect. 50% motorway and 50% city driving. I suppose it could be worse, but it should be better. I suppose if you do say 80% on motorway, your MPG will be around 37, 36. Now in comparison, my Zafira, 11-year-old Zafira, on similar driving pattern would have done around 43 MPG. So it's a lot worse than my old Zafira in comparison. So it's pretty poor fuel economy for a Land Rover Discovery Sport. Nowhere near the sales pitch as are most cars, but this is even more distance than is usually the case. Usually, you know, you do expect to be less. I was expecting under these driving conditions around 40 for a new car. Around 40 MPG. It's 25% less. So you end up paying 25% more in fuel bills than you should. 40 is what I would expect. 50% motorway, 50% city, but it's delivering around 30. So it's 25% worse than you'd expect. This is what you need to know before you buy a Land Rover Discovery Sport. This is seriously what you need to know, especially do a lot of mileage, that your MPG, even in eco mode, is going to be a lot worse than the sales pitch. Nowhere near 53.3. You can forget that. Even if you drive 99% on motorway, you are not going to get 53.3. You might get, if you drive 95% on motorway, you might get into the mid 40s if you're lucky, but I doubt it. For ordinary drivers who say drive 50% motorway, realistically looking around 30.5 MPG. Realistically, it's about 25% worse than you would be expecting when buying the car. So wherever you are, your fuel economy will be about 25% worse than expected. There you have it. That's the real world MPG for a Land Rover Discovery Sport. driving in eco mode for 1100 miles. Suppose if I drive it in sports mode, it'd be a lot worse, or turned off eco mode or the other modes, it'd be a lot worse than that. But anyway, eco mode, it's top fuel economy mode, delivers around 30.5 MPG for ordinary drivers, around 50% motorway, 50% city. Of course, in the UK, your motorway driving is not going to be 100% 70 miles per hour. You're going to be on roadworks 50 miles per hour on long stretches, and probably even slower when, especially in London. London's a nightmare. You know, I drove it in London and it's a nightmare. They keep going up and down the speed limits, going up, down, 60, 50, 40, 30, 40, 64. It's like they're deliberately trying to catch drivers out with speeding. Just going yo-yoing all over the place. Anyway, that's the eco mode. Subscribe for more Land Rover Discovery Sports videos as we test it in real life driving. The next video looks at the boot. How much can I get in here in the boot space as I try and empty the house of its old carpet and take it to a tip. Can we get the whole house's carpet in here? Well, 2 landings, 2 stairs and 2 bedrooms worth of carpet. Will it fit in here? Carpet and underlay. So that's quite a lot of material. Will it fit in a Land Rover? Find out in my next video exactly how much space the boot area can take with the seats down.